The observation deck of the Stellar Kindness hummed with the quiet efficiency of a ship at rest. Through the reinforced viewing panels, the Andromeda Nebula painted the darkness in swirls of purple and gold. But Alara wasn't looking at the view. Her attention was fixed on the three small forms huddled in the corner of the cargo bay below. The crevac's cubs trembled despite the ship's regulated temperature. Their scales, usually a proud obsidian that reflected starlight, had dulled to a matte gray, the universal sign of distress in their species. The largest of the three, Var, kept his siblings pressed close to his flanks, his amber eyes darting toward every shadow. Alara had found them drifting in an escape pod near the frontier wastes, the only survivors of a colony raid. The attackers had been thorough. Too thorough. She descended the metal stairs slowly, each footfall announcing her presence. The cubs tensed. Var's crest flared, a pitiful defensive display from a creature barely the size of a terrier. "Easy," Alara said softly, crouching several meters away. "I'm not going to hurt you." The universal translator on her collar rendered her words into clicks and whistles. Var's crest lowered fractionally, but his pupils remained slitted with fear. The crevacs were apex predators on their homeworld, massive reptilian hunters with claws that could shred duralloy and jaws strong enough to crush starship plating. These cubs would one day stand 3 meters tall and command respect across a dozen systems. But right now they were just children who had watched their world burn. Alara knew that fear. She'd worn it herself once in the smoking ruins of New Sarajevo. "I brought something," she said, pulling a thermal blanket from her pack. It was standard issue meant for human use, soft synthetic fiber in UN blue, completely inadequate for crevac's biology, which regulated temperature through specialized scales. But Alara had learned long ago that comfort came in many forms. She unfolded it slowly, letting the cubs see every movement. Then she scooted forward on her knees, closing the distance inch by careful inch. Var hissed, a warning. His siblings whimpered behind him. "I know," Alara murmured. "I know you're scared, but you're safe here. I promise, promises." Such fragile things in the vastness of space, yet she meant it with every fiber of her being. When she was close enough, she gently draped the blanket over the three cubs. Var flinched but didn't bolt. The fabric settled over their scales like a strange, soft shield. Then Alara did something that made the ship's AI flag a xenobiological warning. She reached out and tucked the edges around them, her fingers gentle as she adjusted the blanket to cover all three. Her hands came within centimeters of Var's jaws that could, even now, take off her fingers. She didn't hesitate. "There," she said, smoothing the blanket over Var's crest. "Better?" The cub stared at her with those enormous amber eyes. His translator collar crackled. "Why?" "Because you needed it. We are crevacs." The word came out with pride despite everything. "We don't need—" "Everyone needs comfort sometimes," Alara interrupted gently. "Even apex predators, especially children who've been brave far too long." Var's crest flattened completely. His translator remained silent, but his eyes glistened in a way that transcended species. Alara settled cross-legged beside them, close but not touching. "You can rest now. I'll keep watch. You are prey species," Var said, confusion layering his words. "Soft, weak, no claws, no armor. The raiders were—" He cut himself off. "I know what they were," Alara said quietly. "And yes, humans are soft. We're not the strongest or the fastest. We don't have natural weapons. Then why aren't you afraid?" Alara smiled, a small, sad expression. "I've been afraid. But I learned something important. Being soft doesn't mean being weak. And protecting others, that's what makes us strong," she told them then in the gentle dark of the cargo bay. About Earth. About a species that had clawed its way from prey animal to starfarer, through nothing but stubborn determination and an inexplicable refusal to give up on each other. About humans who ran into burning buildings, who threw themselves on grenades, who looked at the vast, hostile universe and decided to be kind anyway. The cubs listened, wrapped in their inadequate blanket, and slowly, so slowly, they began to relax. Var's siblings fell asleep first, their breathing evening out into the soft rhythms of youth. Var fought it longer, his instincts screaming that someone had to stay alert, had to protect them. "Sleep," Alara urged. "I've got this watch. You can't—" "You're just one human, soft. If they come back, then I'll do what humans do best," Alara said. "I'll fight like hell to protect you." Var's eyes were already closing. When we're grown, when we're strong, you'll be magnificent, Ilara agreed. No. Var's voice was drowsy but determined. His crest fluttered once beneath the blanket. We'll protect you this time. Humans should not have to be so brave. Alone. His words trailed into sleep. Ilara sat in the silence that followed, one hand resting on the blanket over three small forms. Through the viewing port, the Andromeda Nebula continued its ancient dance of creation and destruction. And on a small cargo ship in the vastness of space, a human kept watch over three cubs who would one day be warriors. The Crevax horde would speak of this in years to come, of the human who tucked their lost cubs in with a blanket, who treated apex predators with gentleness when the galaxy had shown them only cruelty, and three warriors named Var, Kessa, and Thane would stand at humanity's side, honoring a promise made in the dark by a cub who understood that strength came in many forms. Some species conquered through fear. Humans. It seemed conquered through something far more dangerous, hope and love.